All right, guys, welcome back to Music in Motion. I'm your host, Scott Miller, and in this video, we're gonna be going way further down the rabbit hole in project elevation. We're gonna address the headliner in the vehicle. We're gonna do a Starlit suede headliner. We're gonna rewrap some of the pillars in the vehicle, get all the top end wrapped in some suede. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to working. All right, guys, so what we're looking at, this is, welcome back to the channel, forgive me. This is stage 2, if you would, of project elevation. So we had such a good turnout at Barrett-Jackson with the stereo system, and I mean, this thing's killer, and we just decided, we talked about it, and it's time to level up. So we're gonna cover a few more electronics in this vehicle, a couple more demo aspects, if you would, but just some cool aspects, right? So in this video specifically, we're gonna be going over the headliner and some of the pillars in the vehicle. The A-pillars we did in previous videos that came out choice, we're gonna go ahead and get those wrapped in suede, so redo this whole thing up top. And I think the highlight of this is gonna be the Starlit headliner. So we're gonna do some RGB lighting up there. We have some twinkle patterns and lights. It's gonna be fresh, man. So let's go ahead and show you what we got real quick. And again, if you're just tuning into the channel, this is our 2022 GMC Sierra. We did a world-class stereo in here from Focal. It's all their Utopia M profile. So again, we did some 8-inch drivers in the doors, loads of treatment. We cover the way we do our sound treatment packages here at Music in Motion. We've got A-pillars in here. These are the A-pillars we built in one of the videos. Again, this houses our Utopia M Profile 3 and tweeter from Focal. We did our lighting in here, you know, sub enclosure. We had a whole bunch of goodies, but what we didn't like is we have a black pillar and then we go into what is a gray headliner. So what we're going to address in this vehicle is we're going to get all this out of here. We're going to get visors, all the plastics, B pillar, C pillar, every pillar. They're all coming out. They're all going to get stripped down. They're all getting some black suede, some suede as I call it. So we're gonna get everything prepped. We're gonna dye everything that's gray. We're gonna get everything blacked out in there. So we're gonna get you guys set up, super fast YouTube mode. We're gonna get the vehicle all disassembled, get the headliner out of there, get the pillars out of there, get panels separated, things that are getting dyed, things that are getting wrapped in suede. And man, it is go time. We're gonna black this puppy out and get that Starlit headliner going. And man, this thing is gonna look off the chain. So let's go ahead and get running. suppose I hit the real time button. Hope that one doesn't get flagged. But so what we're gonna do, we got the headliner out of here. Wasn't too bad, to be honest with you. We're pretty familiar with removing the pillars from the system installation and stuff. And yeah, so we have some big flat spaces, which we love to see, because that means we got spot for treatment. So we're gonna get some sound treatment up there, and yeah, get started on this Starlit headliner, man. It should be really cool. So what are we talking about? Let's go. All right, guys, here we go. So coming out of that time lapse, got all of our parts taken off of the headliner, got the headliner removed from the vehicle. It's over here to my right. So what we're gonna do is we've got some prep on these parts. We've wiped them down with a wax and grease remover. We got some Bulldog on them, which is basically an adhesion promoter, and now we're just gonna dust them with some Sem-Dye. While over here we got the other parts that are getting wrapped in suede. We're gonna go ahead and get the suede laid out, get the pieces cut for them, and start doing some upholstery. So we're gonna try to break up the time lapse. There's a lot of pieces to upholster and a lot of stuff to paint. So we're gonna do our best to break up the time lapse for you. So I'll check in with you every once in a while, just make sure y'all are still there, right? So here we go, let's get to wrapping these. We'll get some suede thrown down, so. So this is going to be our first initial intermission. We're going to go ahead. We got all of our painted pieces out of here. We got to set on the table out there on the little island we have. We did get all the suede cut for our pieces. We're set. We're ready. So we're going to go ahead and get some of these laid out, get them all prepped, get them glued, let them sit, let them dry, and then we're going to do some wrapping magic. So again, I wanted to break up some of these time lapse. It's a lot of pieces and stuff. So make sure you guys aren't falling asleep on us. We want to stay good for you. So stick with us. We're going to get these wrapped. And when we get onto the lights and the headliner, game changer. So y'all stay with us. It'll be good. boy, whole project elevation almost went 2 for 2 on me. That headliner was an absolute bear. So we got most of it, pretty happy with it. Looking at it, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna break it up. I've got some tape lines down the side here. I think what we're gonna do is just add a secondary piece, like a little brake line on each side of the headliner. I think it'll add some character up there, so that way it's not just one solid piece. Make it look just a bit more custom, but just something a little different, a little more personalized, right? And then, to be honest, you'll lose a lot of this in the Starlit headliner aspects. Like, you won't see any of this, but I just think it'll be pretty trick. So, let's go ahead, and thanks for bearing with me. We did the best we could in that time lapse, but again, this headliner was a bear, man. Like, it was pretty tough. So what we're gonna do at this point is we're gonna cut some additional pieces, and we're gonna get them all prepped, get our lines all marked so everything's symmetrical and not just roughed out of tape there. And yeah, we'll get this headliner finished, and then we're gonna start poking some holes in it. So that, as anxious as I am, I could definitely wait. So, but let's go ahead and get running. Another intermission. So we have our insert pieces for the headliner all glued up. We're just letting them dry. So in the meantime, again, I just wanted to break that up for you a little bit. We're gonna got a couple more of the interior panels. So that's the top of the B pillar, if I'm not mistaken, inserts for the seat belts, but all the other little knick-knack parts that we're wrapping. So we're gonna go ahead and mess with those in the meantime. Let those dry. As soon as those are good, we'll get back to messing with the headliner. So, and not too many pieces left, so we'll keep on rolling. So. my friends, it is that time again. We are coming to a close. So let's show you where we ended up with this headliner and the interior, man. The panels came out really cool, so it totally changes the look of the interior in this thing. So. She is all blacked out now. Black suede on the headliner. We redid our pillars up here. Got those wrapped in the black suede. Again, the build video on these A-pillars is in the series. I think it was video 2 if I'm not mistaken. So we also redid our trim. We did a, again, the pressed grill, but we did a satin black acrylic finish on the trim, just to kind of lose it a little bit there. All of our things like plastic badges, plastic seatbelt pieces, dome lights, overhead console pieces, and everything was dyed, again with a satin black. Visors rewrapped. So that's all cool and all, but let's show you the best part, right? So what everybody's wanting to see. This came out super legit, man. This is too cool, man. So we get you a shot from back here. So we actually got our light engine mounted behind the seat back, yeah, believe it or not, in the amp rack where there's absolutely no space. But we did find a home for it back there. The light engine's really cool. It's got an RF remote. It's got presets on it, like different colors, patterns, but this light engine does have twinkle patterns to it, which I really liked. Just if you have it set on white or something and you just want to see some stars sparkle, it's a really cool effect. Kind of holds true to some of that Rolls Royce feel. But man, yeah, this thing definitely sets a mood. It's awesome. So this truck is definitely gonna turn some heads. So, but again, excellent, we're excited. So well, let's go ahead and get this one wrapped up. So that's gonna be part 1 of, I guess, part 2. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be the first one of our electronics videos in phase 2, if you would, here on Project Elevation. So that one's coming to a close. Next video we're gonna get for you is gonna be the last bit of the electronics. So we got some undercar RGB LEDs that are going under there. That's got a really cool controller from Blue Ghost that we use. Then we have, I believe, a headrest package, and we're gonna integrate the factory screen. So that should be really neat. So we're gonna try to get a kind of an Android platform up there. We want some YouTube. We want to watch Project Elevation videos in the truck. So, but yeah, that'll be our 2 of 2 for phase 2 or something like that. But at any rate, let's go ahead and wrap it up. So make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel. Again, I'm your host, Scott. This is Music in Motion, where we build some pretty amazing cars and interiors. We're on all the social platforms, Music in Motion BC, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you're following us over there. And if you have any questions about the work, anything like that, feel free to reach out to us. Our contact info will be over on the website at musicinmotion.com. We look forward to hearing from you guys. So thanks for enjoying these videos with us, and we look forward to many more. So until then.